folks, with the man Sam, man in the big green hat. I'm here in central Tennessee near Linden, Tennessee at Mousetail Landing State Park for the first time. We had, well, it wasn't a surprise, but we had several inches of snow. Some of it's still hanging around. And I've been meaning to get to the state park for a while and wanted to camp here, and saw photos this morning of how nice the snow was and couldn't resist making a trip up here to explore it some. So let's go see what we can find. It's hard to believe that it was 70 degrees here yesterday afternoon. The accumulation rates were so fast and we had so much cold air advection here that allowed several inches. Some places got 4 or 5 inches of snow. The sun's warm enough, it's beginning to melt it all, but it's not a landscape that you get to enjoy too much this far south. So take advantage of it when you can. Here we're coming up to a trail intersection. This has been a kind of a little connector trail. This is called the Scenic Trail. It starts at, you can either start at the campground or the park office itself, but the ranger suggested you go this way. It's kind of a gentle downhill slope for a while, and it really is kind of scenic. Nice views off into the little, can't call them canyons, I don't suppose, but stream drainage and that kind of thing, and hopefully we'll get a glimpse of the Tennessee River. That's what kind of borders the state park on the western side, but we'll see. I have to say I'm loving this moss covered trail. This is really nice. It's an area there's lots of storm damage. This area down in the little valleys, down up here in the little stretch on the ridge. Going that way a bit. I love the color contrast between the moss and the snow. Otherwise it's still early enough in the spring when I'm filming this here in Tennessee. You can see there's nothing popping up out of the ground. There's no wildflowers, no anything. We're maybe 3 weeks early or something, maybe a month early. But it's still nice, if windy. Oof. Interesting juxtaposition here. You got one side of the hills, the mountains, completely covered in snow, and then the other side, well, there's nothing. It's always dependent on the orientation of the hillside and, well, how fast the clouds moved out. Pretty cool though. Move to another area of very heavy storm damage up here on this ridge. Just kind of take a look around here. I don't know if this was straight line wind damage or a small tornado. I have no idea when these trees were felled. Some of the cuts, well, all of the cuts, none of them look fresh. You have the fungi growing on them, so it's been here a while. There's another interesting little thing of snow versus not snow. Where the moss was, it's all melted. But these embedded tufts of grass still have ice and snow on top of them. So it makes for a very interesting patchwork pattern here. Cool. This is cool. You see all these drifting snow patterns here. Just blowing up this ridge against this log. It's really neat. Almost takes on the form of water in a way. Yeah, that's a pretty deep little snow thing here. Just shows you how deep snow was, or is. So one little area, just from the way the winds are circulating around that log, pooling up. Oh, I'm so happy. I love snow and hiking in snow. And I'd wondered if this was the right gamble coming up here and doing this, but actually find snow up here, and this has been a most pleasant surprise. And just the Tennessee River over there. You have to pardon the wind noise. It is howling at times up here on this ridge. I finally got a glimpse of the river and wanted to share that. Just a pretty section through here. I bet the view from up there is nice. Better view of the Tennessee River. There we go. There's the view of the Tennessee River I was wanting. Across the other side is TVA owned land, and you can hike it as well. Although I don't know that there's established trails there. I've forgotten the name of that little spot actually. But find Mousetail Landing State Park on a map and look across the river, it should show it for you. Move down to kind of a southward facing ridge. You can see the difference. Still this nice green mossy trail, but nowhere near as much snow. I take a step out over here, kind of see there on the north facing side, there's all the snow again. Here we are back into the snow again. And I tell you, there's quite a temperature difference. The wind blowing across normal. Snow-free landscape versus blowing across this. Be interesting to have a thermometer here and on the opposing ridge just to see what the temperature differential actually is. Such a wonderful treat to hike in snow today. So the winter leaves of crane fly orchid, and I have never seen them in snow, but that's cool. What a wild color contrast that purple is with the white of the snow, huh? Beautiful little patch here. I'm trying to make the sharp left turn up into this hollow. You can see all the snow here. But it sure was nice that first half of the hike. Maybe we'll get back into it again before it's all said and done. Well, the trail has made a very sharp left turn back up into this hollow, and there's very little snow here. It sure was nice that first part of the hike though, but there's some hits of it on the far side, and maybe we'll get back up into it, see a little bit more. This was a surprise find. A toothwort. So it won't be too much longer here. You should see a little piece of it right there. The trout lily is popping up. Trillium's popping up, and well, everything popping up. This is nice. Maybe the trade-off for the snow in this little section is I get to see some early wildflowers. I'll take that. Little thing with little white leaves. This is a cress of some kind. Early bitter cress or something. I've forgotten the name of it. I gotta brush up on some of my wildflowers again. Here's a one and only stream crossing. It's an unnamed tributary up Spring Creek. Unfortunately dry as a bone. No other little footprints here but mine. I've been keeping an eye out. Snow is almost as good, or is as good a little recorder of footprints and tracks as mud is. But I see nothing here. The little holes would be from the snow falling from the trees above. I got my wish. Back up into the snow again. Never gets old for me, but it could be because I don't have to deal with it every day. So they're actually labeling that as the Tennessee River Trailhead. We're at the last junction here. Going to the right will take you to the visitor center. And going to the left will take you back to the main campground. Massive oak tree up here on the ridge. That would have been something to see when it was standing. Still some snow holding on. And we've had some cedars mixing in. It's a little bit different. It's been almost entirely deciduous trees. It's neat to see a little bit of evergreens. And that's actually a pine tree there. Kind of hidden behind the cedar tree. This moss is so soft to walk on. Just skips with you. It's so wonderful. Many more cedars have filtered in through here. The snow's picked back up a little bit. The trail's just kind of winding its way back up to the top. Not terribly far from the junction with the little connector trail. Sure has been a nice hike. Well, thanks for coming along on this little adventure, folks. It's not every day, at least around here, that you get to hike in snow. I've sure enjoyed it. It's great views in the Tennessee River and, well, snow. And it's nice to see a new place for a change. I make an effort every year to see a number of new places. The old haunts are always fun, but you never know what you're going to find out there. So there's certainly a gamble that paid off. Until next time, keep exploring and stay wild.